Hi, everyone. How are you doing today? Uh, Fantastic. Let me introduce myself. My name is Sobecki, and I've been working as a security engineer for the past 3 years. I currently work at Asana in the security architecture team. Before coming to Poland, I used to study in Scotland and France. My specialty is security automation, vulnerability management, and static code analysis. And I'm mostly interested. Can you see okay? Okay. I'm mostly interested in cybersecurity, AI, quantum computing, and foreign languages. Okay, now that you know me, let's get to it. So everyone's shipping AI right now. Like your engineers are, your PMs are, your unemployed friend probably is. And we, the security team, we have to secure it, review it, lock it down if necessary. But the thing is, we can't, not at this speed. It's all happening so fast, so now we have to use AI ourselves in order to secure AI. We got two new jobs. Security AI, use AI for security. Yeah. Most people treat this as completely separate problems. I don't think they are. I think it's a false dichotomy that can be solved using the same principles. The good news is that the answer already exists. We tested it. And I want to show you how it works. At Asana, we created AI teammates. One of them is called Kingsley Shacklebolt. I like to, I like to call him Kingsley Shacklebot. Kingsley does security reviews. He reviews new features at Asana. The work goes through 5 stages: intake, security requirements gathering, design review, implementation, and finally code review. You might think it's not really secure to let an AI assess AI, but we took that into consideration. Kingsley runs on Rails, which means that he's bounded by structure. There are several principles that make Kingsley useful instead of dangerous. And I'm gonna I'm gonna talk about them in a minute. But we published the numbers, and we get 10 to 15 times more security review coverage than before. The question is, what makes it work? It's not the model. They get changed every couple of months. It's not the prompt. We tune them all the time. And it's not the vendor. Vendor comes and goes. What's making it work is something way simpler. It's the principles that keep the AI teammates in line, as well as the process. It's 6 ideas. Most of them are older than I am. It's least privilege, defense in depth, zero trust, auditability. Sorry. Blast radius and separation of duties. It's the stress. Let me walk you through them. Least privilege. Think of a hotel keycard. You can use it to open your room, the gym, the pool, not the executive suite, not other people's rooms. Nobody finds that restrictive. They find it obvious. Why give people access to something you don't need? Same idea with AIs. The problem nowadays is that they get deployed so fast that people don't really think about them. They give them access to do anything. So all the systems, all the files, all the tools. But you might have an idea why that might be dangerous. Let's say someone edited a file that Kingsley is supposed to read. And let's say that person wants Kingsley to send customer data, sensitive, to an unknown email address. Kingsley would do it, because at the moment of execution, he would have all the means to. Kingsley doesn't work that way. He only sees he only sees what I, the person that invokes him, can see. Next up, defense in depth. Picture a castle. Castles aren't built with one wall. There is the wall, the gate, the inner keep. Because the assumption is each one of those might fail. That's pretty obvious. Same thing with AI. We don't give them access to everything. Sounds similar to least privilege, right? But least privilege doesn't work if AI is supposed to have access to sensitive data to do its job. That's why we stack the layers on top of each other. So fine, let's give it access. But we might also want to use other control methods, like a scan that checks if something is different. Kingsley doesn't do what he's supposed to, went off in the middle, and of course, a human who verifies it at the end. Next, we got zero trust. Zero trust. Hold on, let me just see. Yes. Think of airport security. It's the same scan, the same check every time. It doesn't matter if you keep flying every day. They always check, because your bag could be different today. The idea behind zero trust is that you never trust, always verify. So, this is very important. Past trust doesn't mean future trust. So, let's say we trust Kingsley at this moment to do this specific task, like perform the review. Fine. But then Kingsley wants to do more, like maybe accept the risks. No, Kingsley, I didn't give you permission to do that. I gave you permission to do only one thing. So we check it every time. There is no blanket pass. Every action is treated as a separate event every day. Then we got auditability. Let me just see. Auditability is like a black box on an airplane. You hope you never have to look at it, but when something goes wrong, it's always what happened, why, and how. Preferably, you want to know how, to prevent it from happening again. The problem with AI nowadays is that it's still a black box in itself. So usually it's very difficult to track what the AI is doing and, most importantly, for what reason. What was the reasoning behind it? And when you don't know that, things can go wrong very quickly. So we built Kingsley specifically to avoid that. Instead of storing data in some kind of database, we store it in a human-readable format. Every action it takes can be visible in the comments under the tasks or in the agent's profile. We got access to all its memories. So whenever Kingsley makes a decision, we don't only check if it was right, but because we have access to everything, we want to check if it's right for the right reason or right by accident. Then we got more control. And then Kingsley can do its job and learn from it. Ah. Now, blast radius. You can picture fire doors. Fire doors don't stop fires. That's not their job. Their job is to contain the fire. Keep it in one room instead of letting it spread. The idea is pretty simple. Here, you can think of it as an adversarial part of least privilege. Even though we gave Kingsley access to all of those things, we have to be very careful and very precise in setting those boundaries. Because if something goes wrong, you cannot reverse the permissions. That is your blast radius. What could go wrong if, let's say, the agent is compromised or manipulated? That could happen. Even if an attacker takes Kingsley for 5 minutes, your blast radius is the amount of damage it can do. Yeah, no, Mr. Attacker, don't take Kingsley. Oh my God. But if you set it right at the very beginning, you're fine. And last one, separation of duties. Let me just double check. Okay. It's like a pilot and a co-pilot. They always fly together, but only one of them is piloting at the same time. But during difficult moments, like takeoff or landing, both of them have eyes on the controls. Because a lot could go wrong. So, with AI, it's all kind of the same idea. AI doesn't look at the task, analyze the task, executes it. No, there's a need for separation, separate actors. My favorite thing about Kingsley is that it doesn't run on its own. Let's say someone submits a review. Then it is my job to look at it, trigger Kingsley if needed, and then walk through the steps with him. There is always a human watching. But not only that, we created specific rules so that I don't have to tell Kingsley the same thing over and over again. So I trigger the rule. The rule triggers Kingsley. Then Kingsley comes back to me, and over. Three different actors with 3 different jobs. Now, I'll be lying if I told you that this job is finished. As far as I know, nobody has finished it. So I want to tell you about 3 things I'm still working on. First, it's calibrating context. If you give Kingsley too many information, then it can get confused. I mean, you still want it to be a security expert. So you might think the more the better. But then the answers become very confusing, and it often goes out of scope. If you give him too little information, then they get generic. So that is a thin line, and it's often a judgment call at this point. But we do our best. Second, earning developers' trust. Of course, security teams have to work with developers. So we cannot just let Kingsley do all the job. When we get a review, the developers need to know how to fix it. And they preferably want to know what we're talking about if they're not security experts. So it's very difficult to earn the trust, but it's very easy to lose it. So Kingsley has to be very precise and easy to work with. Plus, preferably right most of the time. And third, knowing when AI is the wrong tool to use. Like I've been telling you, throughout this presentation, it cannot do everything. So we have to be selective of the scope. We only use it for this thing, analysis, then we take over. So the thing I want you to walk out with, securing AI and using AI for security is the same problem, in essence, that can be solved with the same principles. Remember the rails I told you about at the very beginning? The principles are the rails. Thank you. That will be the end of my presentation. And I just want to tell you that if you have any questions or would like to discuss anything, come to the Asana booth. My entire security team is there. Hello. And we're hiring. Thank you. Yes. I don't.
Any questions? Did you ask, Leo?
Should I? Oh. Oh my God.
Yes. Any questions? It was amazing. Thank you so much. It was great.
Thank you.
I cannot see. Oh, yes, there is one. We need one mic, please. Thank you. Perfect.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. So my question is, if I know nothing about security, but I do use AI, what can I do? Where can I learn? What sources can I use to figure out how to do it safely? Is there anything that you would recommend?
Can you say that again?
If I know nothing about security, but I do use AI, I want to follow the principles, but I don't know how. Are there any sources or is there anything that I should know? Where can I go? What can I learn to make it safe?
Well, yes, there are multiple places. Nowadays, it's much easier to access security courses. And with all the interest in AI, the interest in security grows. So yes, they're available online. And actually, you're sitting next to a person who creates them. Hello,
Wow.
Kacper.
Wow.
But what I want you to remember is that AI, even if someone created a product using AI, it doesn't mean it's safe, because most people value velocity over security. So I want you to always pay attention to where your data goes if you're sharing sensitive information. What happens to them if you do? So if there's something you don't want people to know, don't share it with AI.
All right. Thanks. And otherwise, just consult a security expert, right?
Sorry.
Otherwise, just consult a security expert.
Yes,
right?
hello. Friendly neighbor, security expert.
All right. Thank you.
Hi. So my question would be more from the process perspective. Like, would you prefer to say you trigger the security reviews via feature or development process, or you have something like more AI governance in place, or a special AI GT team to run security checks together with the compliance verification, with using AI, of course?
Well, yes, that we do have that. We have a compliance team, a privacy team. So all of that is checked. I don't think I heard you correctly. So
my question from the more practical, your experience. In Asana, who bears the main responsibility for keeping compliance in place while using AI internally? Is it more on security teams, or there is a separate team, more AI separate organization, or it's just the joint forces?
is, I mean, we do have to work together, so we collaborate all the time, but it's the security team.
Thank you. Congratulations then.
Thank you.
So you spoke about those like 6 principles, and I wanted to ask is there one principle that's maybe like the most important, or are the like all of them have to be implemented for Kingsley to work well?
As you probably noticed, all of them are kind of connected. So, yes, I would say all of them are important. And if you read up more on that, you will find that there's more principles. Those are just the most well-known ones. But if I had to pick one, it would be zero trust. Is that all? Okay, if there are no more questions, then thank you very much.